I knew we had it. Yeah, I knew we had it the whole time. Well, the University of Georgia coming out with a big victory over Missouri. And let's see. Yeah. Okay. Well, Georgia winning over Missouri, of course. And I don't know what happened to our chat overlay. Are we having a difficulty with that? Okay. Um, have we? Okay. Georgia winning. Oh, you want to redo it? Okay. we'll be, we'll be, yeah, we'll be right here. Okay. All right. So Georgia wins, and I can't see my chats, but that's all right. Okay. So Georgia wins. Georgia coming back, winning over Missouri 26-22. And what a great game for the University of Georgia. I knew we had the thing the whole time. What in the world was wrong with you people? Thinking that Georgia was going to lose to Missouri. What a nail biter of a game. Georgia wins, of course. My prediction was 31-24. So I wasn't, that far off. But congratulations to the University of Georgia. And for some reason, I can't get my chat thing to work. Anyway, we're on Facebook and Instagram. UGA finally got its act together in the fourth quarter. That's from Instagram. Kyle says I was on the edge of my seat. I was too. I was too, Kyle. Here's what I was doing. I was watching. Our Georgia play, and also I was watching on another device the Braves play, and so the Braves went over the Mets. The Braves now. That game has taken 10 years off my life. That's one of our Instagram viewers. Yeah, I know. Horrible start, but it ended great. What a game. Go Dogs. I'm sorry with you guys on I guess we're getting chats on Facebook, but we got some kind of issue. Oh, I see. I got you. Okay. Well, anyway, we get the gist of it all. Georgia wins. Big win for the University of Georgia. They'll be coming home to Athens next Saturday. That was a nail biter. Glad we got the win. Yes, sir. Very good. Glad we've got the win. So Alabama wins today. Alabama had a little trouble with Arkansas, but was able to come back. What do you think about Bennett? Statistically, you look at Bennett, Stetson didn't have that bad of a game. Threw for well over 300 yards. Had statistically pretty good game. But as you look at the game, he was off on some of his passes, and Georgia just I don't know. Did they look like the number one team in the country? Did they look like the number one team in the country? That's the question. And so the polls will come out tomorrow, and I don't know. Georgia may not be number one tomorrow. You may see Alabama leapfrog back over Georgia to be the number one team in the country. I don't know. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. You might see Ohio State. What will happen with Georgia? We'll just have to wait and see in the polls. But there you go. Georgia winning a big game over Missouri. It was a nail biter. It was, as some of our we'll drop to number four. One of our guys say we'll drop to number four. So who would you have as number one? Georgia will not be number one. How far down will we drop? If Georgia drops, I think they'll go to number two. I think if Georgia drops down, Georgia may not drop. Arkansas was really, Alabama was, okay, but they won in a big fashion over Arkansas. But they were not really like dominating the thing. And so I think if Georgia drops, it'll be down to number two. But you're going to be in the top four to make the playoffs. I'll take 5-0 over, and that's one of our Instagram guys. Got us at number three. We got one guy saying got us at number three. Ohio State may be above us. Someone saying Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, and Georgia. I don't know. I think if Georgia drops, they'll go to number two. So you'll have Alabama and maybe Georgia, and then you'll have Ohio State and Michigan, maybe, but I don't get a vote in that thing. So So Georgia with a big win. We're giving you the chance to say what you think. I think it's going to be Ohio State, Georgia, and Alabama. Somebody else says I don't get this. I know. Georgia was a 29-point favorite, and but listen, you go on the road in the SEC, and you play these teams, and you're number one in the country, and the stadium is hopping, and you have a pretty decent first half, and you kind of stick it to Georgia a little bit. This is what you're going to get. I mean, to play in the SEC, it's tough, and you go on the road. Uh, you know, mm, someone says I am Bama has been will be number one for sure. Um, okay, we don't know, and I still can't see my chats on the Facebook page, but that's not our issue, is it? Yeah, that's not our issue. That's our provider's issue. So anyway, but we are getting a lot of comments on our Instagram page, and you're happy to comment. Let's keep them kind of clean now, guys. This is a family program, and but Georgia with a big win. Let's see. Where's our I never listen to those spreads, nothing but guessers. And so we got somebody. What's everyone's opinion on how Kirby is handling the win? Well, I'm glad. I think he's glad to get out of it with a win. Uh, Ole Miss won today. Kentucky lost. That's big for Georgia in the SEC East. Oklahoma lost big time. Alabama won. Mississippi State won. Florida plays tomorrow. I'm just glad Georgia Bulldogs got out of the fire, aren't you? Yes, sir. You better believe that. Let's get home, get out of there. And kudos to Missouri. Eli Drinkwitz. What is that his name? He's a good guy. In fact, we've had a couple of conversations with him. He's a good guy, good coach. Uh, he's dealing with a lot to try to recruit at Missouri, but he's done a good job in recruiting. So, and I think did LSU beat Auburn? Yeah, LSU is beating Auburn. By the way, Georgia Tech is beating Pittsburgh. Did you see that? Georgia Tech. What's your opinion on the old line? Stetson was under pressure all night. Missouri had, to be honest with you, Missouri's got a pretty good defensive line. The edge rushers that Missouri has is pretty good. Would you like to have heard the halftime speech that Kirby gave to the guys? Yeah, coaches kind of approach that thing in a different way. Um, I'm sure, the coach was forceful, but also encouraging as well. Um, anyway, Georgia Tech is winning, right? Over Pittsburgh after firing Jeff Collins. It's a team we love to hate, but dislike or whatever. But Mississippi State winning today over Texas A&M. Florida plays tomorrow at noon. It'll be on the. By the way, our good somebody on one of our good friends on Facebook. Hey, you're safe now. She says I work amongst a bunch of Florida Gator fans, so she didn't want to lose the game. She didn't want to face them. I'm with you. Our studio is quiet except for one dude on the phone. You can see him there. He's checking on stuff. Do you think we dropped down in the rankings? Uh, I have a sneaking suspicion that Georgia will not be number one after tomorrow. I have a sneaking suspicion. Final LSU 21, Auburn 17. Okay. Yeah, I have a sneaking suspicion Georgia will not be the number one team in the country tomorrow. My gut tells me they'll be number two. Alabama one, Georgia two, or Georgia may be three. You may have Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, and Michigan. You might have that, but we'll have to just wait and see. But you want to be in the top four. You want to be in the top four. And listen, it's still we're 5 games into the season. It's a long season. Ever how it plays out. As long as you're in the top four, you're good. And then what? Next year or 2 years from now, if you're in the top 12, you're good. Bama had a closer game with Texas unranked. That's true. That's true. That may be still lingering in the minds of the voters. Georgia may hold on to number one. I got a sneaking suspicion. Uh, TL says, I believe it will be Alabama number one, Ohio State number two, Georgia number three. Could be. That could be the order of things. We just wanted to give you guys the opportunity to, put your 2 cent worth in. I'm sorry on our Facebook page. For some reason, our provider we can't see our chats. We'll have to talk to the head honchos about that because I love to see your chats. Like your content, by the way. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I just have a good time. We have a good time. Sports. And in these days, and by the way, we are praying for our friends down south in Florida. Florida State, by the way, lost, right, to Wake Forest. We're praying for our good friends down in Florida. That hurricane, my word, that hurricane. Defense played their heart out today. Yes, they did. Defense played good. Thank you. We get a compliment from our guys. But we're praying for our good friends down in Florida. That the hurricane, I've been through 2 hurricanes, but nothing like that. And God bless them. We're praying for them if you can help them. Kirby is right. The SEC is a tough conference, and it is. It's the best conference in the country. And I'm telling you, it's tough. It's tough. And to go on the road, to go to Columbia, and that stadium was rocking. Kudos to the fans from Missouri. Kudos to the Missouri football team. They were ready to play the number one team in the country. They don't know where my son lives. Inches of rain, chances of rain. Okay. So we got some folks chiming in, and they have folks in Florida. So we're praying for the folks in Florida. If you can help, there are a lot of good resources to help. The Red Cross, and all those guys help the folks in Florida, and then up in South Carolina. But Florida will be playing tomorrow against Eastern Washington. Of course, that's not a conference game. But they'll be playing in Gainesville, and if you're inclined, that game's on ESPN Plus or something like that. Any given game, and one SEC team can upset another, and that's true. That's true. Hey, let's be happy with the win. You're 5-0. You came in as the number one team in the country. If you drop, you're not going to drop much. Falcons play tomorrow also. Yes, they do. Falcons play the Browns. Isn't it the Browns? Cincinnati. My producer says, let's wrap this thing up so I can go home. Got to get better on the line, both sides. Yes. The offense took over in the fourth quarter, and Dejon Edwards running hard, McIntosh running hard. Go Dogs. I listened. I told you guys we were going to come back to win. I said 31-24. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Well, listen, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. Big win for the University of Georgia. The Bulldogs will be back at it in Athens next week. Let's we can notch another team on our belt. What teams do we need to lose to stay in the top 4? Do we need to lose to? Let's don't lose any. Let's don't lose any. Great Georgia win had me scared. I wonder how. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. That's going to wrap it up for us. God bless you, and go Dogs. And we'll wrap it up. We'll be with you again soon on Dogs on Demand on Facebook and Instagram. By the way, thank you to Southeast Mortgage, the official home loan lender of the Georgia Bulldogs. We love those guys. If you ever have the opportunity, you want to finance or refinance your home, Southeast Mortgage, the official home loan lender of the Georgia Bulldogs. Next time you're in Sanford Stadium, look for their signage. These are great people. These are great people. And they're professional. They know what they're doing. They'll help you. They'll answer your questions. They'll treat you as if you're the only customer that they have. Truly, these are wonderful people, and I'm just not jiving you or anything like that. I'm telling you the truth. Southeast Mortgage, the official home loan lenders of the Georgia Bulldogs. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. Go Dogs! Big win over Missouri. We'll be joining you again this week. Sometime during this week, we'll have a show talking about the upcoming game for Georgia. Until then, God bless you all and stay safe out there. And go Dogs!